Prepare yourselves for excessive virginity. Every once in a while, I have to do one of these videos where I go in depth talking about stupid stuff, where if any woman were to ever watch this video, they would decide collectively to never show me even a single pube. Today we're talking packet tricks. Now first I have to explain what a packet trick is if you've never seen a woman naked. It's any trick that involves a smaller number of cards. Now typically these cards are placed separate from a deck of playing cards and taken out and shown to a participant. Now typically I hate these tricks. If you reach into a special wallet separate from your deck of playing cards and you take out a small packet of cards and you have the participant think of any one of the kings and you go, look, before we started, I actually placed one card right there, one card alone, the King of Diamonds, the card that you picked. Let's assume the card you picked was the King of Diamonds. And look, it's the only different colored card. One of my favorite magicians of all time is John Bannon, but he came out with this trick called Twisted Sister, which makes me want to punch a puppy. Because for the trick, you take out 2 packets of 4 queens. One packet is 4 blue-backed queens, and another packet is 4 red-backed queens. And then you count one set of queens, and then you count another set of queens, and then you have them name a queen, and that happens to be the only queen that turns over in this packet, and the whole thing just stinks. Yes, it's a good trick, but why do you have these cards in your wallet? Now recently, Chris James and Alakazam sent me this, which is Squint by Chris James. And to be honest, I thought I would hate it because usually you have that thing where now I have to have cards separate from the deck and I take them out and then I have to show them to the participant and then I get what is a good trick but still doesn't make sense. But this trick, it does make sense for you to have the cards separate because these cards are special. You tell them from the very beginning. I don't want to say anything too loud because they're always watching, you know, the circle. But these cards are actually marked cards. I stole them from a gambling cheat that's actually doing a hard time in Vegas for diddling, but that's beside the point. He was also a card cheat, and I actually stole these cards from him. And these are marked cards. You could actually read them from the back, so you could see what this card is from the back. Now, of course, I'm not going to go into the whole performance. You could see that on my Instagram, and you could see that on the Alakazam page for this particular trick. But it makes sense for you to have these cards separate. Now, I'm not shitting on all packet tricks. However, I am urging you to make them make sense. If I have 4 cards that represent oil with oil written on the face and 4 cards that represent water with water written on the face, and I take them out and perform an oil and water routine, you have every right to shoot me in the face with a shotgun. It doesn't make any sense. These cards are printed. You're already implying that they came from a magic store. There's no reason why these cards should exist. Whereas this, it's a logical reason. It's something that makes sense. The cards are marked. I don't want to mix them in my regular deck. I'm being honest. I'm showing you this special thing that I managed to steal. I'm sure with some clever pattern, you could probably make the oil and water cards that I just mentioned offhandedly. You could probably make that work. But if you are going to do packet tricks, I urge you to make them make sense. Don't just arbitrarily take these special cards out and then do a trick and then put them back in your little wallet. One of my favorite performances of a trick of all time is Tommy Wonder's Wild Cards. Now this is a packet trick where you take out a special packet of cards and you show them all to be the same apart from one card. Then summarily all these cards turn into that one odd card. Now it's a stupid trick if you really think about it, because why are you taking these cards out? What makes them so special that you have to have them separate? Tommy Wonder justifies this in a wonderful and logical way for his character, which is he has a hobby. Oh, well, I have to do my hobby, and my hobby is that every day at this particular time, I have someone pick a card. I know it's weird, but I'm a weird guy, and it just so happens to be the same card each and every single time. It's always this card. And now the packet trick makes sense because it's part of his collection. Now, granted, the magician does look a little bit retarded, but he does manage to redeem himself at the end. Just like you could redeem yourself if you check out my brand new book, The Art of the Squeal. It's available now. You could look at the link in the description section below so that you could pick up your copy. You could also pick up my other book, which is called A View from Down Here, or check out the PigCake Magic Academy, also linked down below. You could get a 7-day free trial and see if it's for you. I have lessons there going over packet tricks and logic behind packet tricks, but here it's just a rant. Make it make sense. I have nightmares of magicians taking special cards out of vinyl wallets that they keep separate. Participants are dumb, but they're not completely dumb. They're not full retard. So when you take cards out, it implies that they're special. So as I mentioned with a trick like Squint, the best way to perform that is to paint it red. Yeah, these cards are special, and I keep them separate because I don't want to mix them with my deck. They're actually very special cards that I stole. I can't talk about it too loud. And that way now it makes sense. With Twisted Sister, as I mentioned before, what's the sense there? Why would I have these 2 packets of cards separated from the very beginning? Why would I keep them on my person? Well, they have to be special cards. And of course, the truth of the matter is the secret is that they are special cards. I know, my friends, this episode has been nothing but virginity, but sometimes we have to have these talks. Some advice at the end of the video. I like to give advice typically at the end of these videos, because then I give you something that's more valuable than just magic tricks or magic trick advice. Advice on real life. And I improv these. I never write anything down. And I guess that could be the tip here today. Don't script things out, especially videos like this. This one is from the heart. It's from passion. I don't script these out. Yes, if I'm doing some sort of sketch or some sort of skit, yeah, I'll typically script those out, but not these. All these videos, the card tricks, everything, it's just coming off my dome piece. So if you're in making content or doing something like that, don't be so rigid. Don't be so structured. Be free-flowing. Be fluid like the water.
I see you again. When 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 I see you again.